You're listening to the Intuitive Souls podcast. I am your host, Sarah Caruso, and this podcast is designed to educate, inspire, and enlighten. Let's wake up together. Hey guys, welcome to the Intuitive Souls podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I am super excited that the universe led you here. If you are an OG and you keep on coming back and you keep listening and growing and expanding and learning, thank you so much for coming back each and every time. I appreciate you guys so freaking much. You have no idea. You make this so easy, so fun. I am so blessed to be here and to be having the opportunity to talk to all of these amazing people and grow and learn and expand while helping you guys out. I mean, it's freaking awesome. So thank you so much for all of the kind words, all of the reviews on iTunes, all of the messages I'm getting on Instagram. You guys are just awesome. Like seriously, just be you and just shine your light, and thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. So this week, I don't know, like for some reason, because we did not have an actual episode last week, I feel like I need to like chat with you guys, tell you what's been going on here, tell you a little bit behind the scenes, because you know, we're a soul fam and I need to like keep you guys updated, obviously. So, as you may know, well, obviously you know, Thanksgiving is coming up and I am really big on gratitude and just thanking each and every one of you for your support in my small business and just for listening. You guys just have no idea how much this means to me and my family. Just, you know, the people that are coming and getting readings and purchasing my courses and signing up to be a mystic, modern mystic for my membership. I mean, you guys are so awesome, and I'm so thankful that, you know, my vision is coming true because of you guys. So as a gift, I am putting all of my Udemy courses on sale for $9.99 starting Wednesday, November 27th through that Sunday. So the day before Thanksgiving to the Sunday after Thanksgiving. For 5 days, all of my courses are going to be priced at $9.99. As a thank you to you guys, the code will be holiday gift. So when you go ahead and purchase the course, there's going to be like a little place where you can get a coupon code. Go ahead and type in, I guess I'll do it in caps, right? So holiday gift, and you will get it for $9.99 just as a thank you for all of your support. You guys are so awesome. As well as starting on Thanksgiving, because, you know, I'm a sucker for Black Friday, on Thanksgiving up until the new year, all of my 1 hour readings, which is my spirit checkup, which is when, you know, we do a Zoom meeting. I also do it in person if you are in the New York, Connecticut area, where we really just kind of dive in. We do a tarot card reading, we do mediumship, we really just do a spirit checkup, and we just gain a lot of clarity and information and just really it's basically a spirit checkup, guys. So those are going to be, those are usually $100. They will be on sale for $85 up until December 31st. So go ahead and book those soon, because as of January 1st, my reading prices will be going up due to the fact that my time is going to be a bit busier, a bit harder to actually get me to sit down for an hour and be able to do a reading, since it's going to, you know, because I am going into busy season with real estate and everything like that. So my prices will be going up as of January 1st of 2020. So definitely be sure, if this is something that you've been toying with, the idea of getting a reading, not because I'm doing the reading, but I highly suggest this reading because you get a little bit of everything. We do, I bring forth some mediumship. We do a tarot card reading. I answer all of your questions. It's a really great place to start, especially if you are interested in getting some sort of reading. Again, it is $85 up until December 31st. After that, the prices are going up. So definitely check that out. You can go head on over to my website. That is ericarusso.co, no M, that was taken. So that is ERICARUSSO.co, and head on over to the book a reading, get some more information on that. It's definitely well worth it, guys. So yeah, those are two things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And okay, so I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on this particular episode. So as you guys know, I have my really good friend who is a wonderful intuitive empath, Leigh Strohmetz. She has been on the podcast before. She actually was the amazing person that we did the narcissist and empath show on, which is actually a very popular show. Like, I'm so surprised at all of the amazing feedback that I've been getting from that particular show. So I'm so happy that, you guys are learning and growing and understanding the concept of narcissism and being able to protect yourself and to, stand in your truth. So I can't get over how many people have, said how much that show has helped us. So thank you so much. I'm so glad. We'll definitely be doing more of those kind of shows. But in this episode, so in this episode, we were just having a conversation via voice notes on Facebook. That's how we usually talk. And it was just kind of like, it was just such a great conversation, and Leigh had the idea of being like, yeah, let's just go on Zoom and talk about this there, because I feel like someone else needs to talk about it. And she was right, because I just have a feeling that this conversation was just so good. It wasn't really even like an interview. It was just basically two people talking about the topic of healers and light workers having this belief system of that we need to heal everybody. And I'm sure anyone listening might hold that belief, because light workers tend to have this problem where we think we need to heal everyone. And this conversation is really kind of blunt and honest and truthful and really brings a lot of clarity on the topic. So we just kind of talked, and it was great. And I'm really happy that she had the idea of just pressing record, because it was just such a great conversation that we were having, and I'm just so grateful that she thought about it, putting this out there, because it definitely is something that needs to be spoken about, especially in the spiritual community. So I hope you guys enjoy this show. I know I enjoyed the conversation with Leigh. Again, if you are enjoying this podcast, if it's bringing you insight, if it's helping you, please go ahead onto iTunes, write a review. That helps me get this podcast to the ears that need to listen to it. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Like I said, you guys have no idea how grateful I am for each and every one of you. You guys are just so awesome. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this show. I had a blast talking about it. I'll see you next week.
Hey guys. So really, really short story I want to give you guys right now. I was having a conversation with my friend Leigh Strohmetz, and she's been on the show a couple of times before. So Leigh, thank you so much for doing this impromptu conversation with me. But
you're welcome. I just feel like it was something that needed to be discussed.
Yeah, it was her idea, because we were just kind of talking, and our conversation led to empaths or healers or light workers or whatever you want to call it, being drawn and feeling the need to fix broken people, like having this underlying belief that it's their job to fix people. And Leigh has a tendency of doing this. And I really wanted to talk about it, because it really needs to be known throughout the whole lightworking community that we are under no obligation to fix anybody. And this is the problem, because empaths are just natural healers. You know, I think that we literally come out of the wound wanting to fix everything, whether it be, you know, an animal or a person or someone in need. And for some reason, I really truly believe like 85 to 90% of empaths think that they need to heal. Like they literally hold this belief since a young age that this is what they're meant to do. And maybe it's just the sensitivity and the empathy that we hold, but we are under no obligation to do that, you know. And Leigh was talking, you know, Leigh has her own really interesting history when it comes to, you know, narcissists and toxic people and, you know, healing from those kind of relationships. So Leigh, what is it that, have you struggled with this your life? Like having this need to fix people?
Yeah, completely. And I feel like it was funny because we were just chatting over something that kind of triggered me this morning. And then it kind of bellowed back down into like, I just realized something clicked for me. And I know that you've said it several times and maybe it didn't click at that time, but I don't know, it did this morning. And you know, I don't know, that it was mind blowing. And I'm grateful to have like this platform, you know, to be able to like, even if it doesn't resonate with you again, like you're going to come back to it and go, damn, I was told that, you know, why didn't it, you know, settle in at that point? But it did this morning. So it was like, what the hell? Like, I'm messaging Erica. Like, we don't really even talk on the phone. We message each other like little clips of messages. And she's like, you know, I know I ended up just like almost teaching myself. And she's going, no, like, you don't have to save everybody. And I'm like, yes, I do. Like, if that's my path and that's what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing that. You know, I'm only wrecking myself. You know, like that kind of stuff, trying to save people who are not ready to be saved, or that don't want to be saved at this point, or, you know, like they're going through their own timeline, but I'm trying to rush the process, but then hurting myself in the process, you know? So it was just a huge, I don't know if I just answered your question, but that it's crazy. Like, this is so mind blowing, y'all. This just happened an hour ago. Yeah. So I'm still like stewing over oh my gosh, such an epiphany. You know, such a download.
I know. This is
mind blown.
Yeah. It feels like we're each other's coaches, because a couple of months ago I came to you, and these are things like the crazy thing is with these epiphanies or downloads or whatever transformations, like just these epic small increments of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something just clicks within your psyche that it's like, oh my God, why this is so simple. Like, why didn't I know this before? Like, this happened to me a couple months ago when I came to you and I was saying, you know, I was having problems with my personal life and how like I wanted people to act differently and defend me in a way that I would defend them. And you literally just said to me, you're like, you can't get you out of somebody else. And that in and of itself, just hearing it from somebody else, I think is just, I knew this all along. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that you can't, you know, if I have a lot of loyalty within me and you can't expect someone to do what you would do in a situation. And that was like mind blowing to me, because I was like, oh shit, you're right. Like, jeez. Why didn't,
you know, like how many times have I done this?
Right. Yeah. Like how, like you're so right. Like, and I've heard quotes like this, but it hasn't clicked until now. And since I really like sat with that and realized that, like, my life has totally changed, because I don't expect anything from anybody, you know? And with you, like you said, like, this is something like you've heard, you know, you're pretty well educated in this realm of healing and stuff like that. And all the YouTubes and all the podcasts and everything that you listen to, I'm sure you've heard like healers think that they need to heal everybody. You know what I mean? But it didn't click for you, you know?
Oop, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. We're good, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I just didn't hear what you just said though.
Oh crap. What did I say? I was just saying, no, you're pretty well educated in this arena as far as like light working is concerned, where it's like an empath and narcissist and all of that, where you have probably heard this before, that you are not responsible for someone else's healing, you know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't click until it's ready to click.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because I've looked at Pinterest and came across cute little sayings, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And like, I'll apply it, or like, I'll send it to somebody that I feel like it should apply for, like, hey, catch this. But then I'm going, damn, how long did it take me to catch this? You know, no, it's not my job to save everyone. But then I have to think, well, how many times have somebody crossed my path where I didn't help that person, and I could have been that deciding factor that would have made that click? That's what goes through my head, because it's like service to people, you know, that kind of thing. But then in an end, a lot of times I let those people in thinking, you know, if I can just say one more thing that would make them think otherwise, or not even that I'm trying to convince them that my way of thinking is the way, but I'm saying, look at it as at a different perspective. I'm not saying you even have to hold on to it, just look at it. You know, and if they can look at it, hold your own boundaries and that kind of stuff, but look at it this way too, then I just feel like then I'm doing my job, you know?
But the thing is like, do you feel like you're doing your job when you're doing something different than that? Like trying to open someone else's eyes? Like what else makes you think that you're doing your job as a light worker?
Being a good human, clearing karma. I know my moon is in Libra, so I tend to do a lot of like peacekeeping stuff, you know, like trying to make sure the waters aren't ruffling and that kind of stuff. But I feel like I'm supposed to heal or teach, you know, because I do. Yeah. Yeah, because I like after our conversation, I wrote down a shit ton of notes, and I'm just like mind blown, you know.
Yeah.
And even after knowing this, it's like still sit with it. Yeah. Still kind of look over it, you know, and
absolutely. It takes days. Like when you have a epic download like this, or an epiphany, whatever you want to call it, like these just massive shifts, I like to call it, because whether they were downloaded into you or if it was a meditation or whatever, it's a shift in your consciousness
and your energy
and in your energy. So you need to sit with it. And like, I remember like when this happened to me and I had the shift where it was like, I need to stop. And it was a belief. It was a limiting belief I held on for years. And it really ruined a lot of my relationships, because in situations I expected them to act the way I would act, whether it comes to like loyalty or defending someone or something along those lines, and they didn't, and it hurt our friendship or our relationship, because it was like you just have to be a good human being, you know. And
bottom line,
that necessarily, you know, being a good human being for me is defending the you know, the person that's being hurt or the person that's being ridiculed, and, you know, the person not strong enough to stand on their own 2 feet. But at the end of the day, a lot of us, even light workers, live in fear. You know, we don't want to rattle the boat. We are so afraid of speaking up for ourselves, because we think that speaking up for ourselves automatically is like a negative thing, you know, especially when it comes to confrontation or something like that. And, you know, we have to understand that, like, how many, like, think of it this way. If we saw a fight in public, and this is like, I talk about this a lot with my husband, because he's a type of person that if you see someone being bullied, like straight up being bullied in public, are you the type of person that is just afraid of the bully and is just going to witness it and just stay away?
No, I'm in it.
Yeah. Are you just like the witness, and then once the bully leaves, you go and ask if they're okay? Or are you the person that's going to stand up to the bully, push the bully, and get in trouble, necessarily jump into it because it's unfair and unjust.
Yeah.
That's me. And that's what I try to tell him, because I'm also a Libra moon. So I'm like all about like, no, this is the way you're treating this person is not right.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And I think that that has a lot to do with our moons.
Yeah. And that's the justice. Like,
right.
Each people are still equal, no matter where you came from, no matter what your background is, no matter what your color, we're souls. So again, going back to like, this, like, I'm not supposed to save everyone. I totally understand that. But then like my heart says again, but what if you were that person that needed to be there when that fight broke out, that needed to jump in, that kind of stuff, that ending moment of what if I was that person that should have been there to say that, or to, and even positive in the mornings, if you pass somebody getting gas or whatever, say good morning to them. What if I was that I don't know. It just goes through my head, Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you were saying that your heart is telling you this. Could it be now, could it be maybe your ego telling you this instead? Because at the end of the day, you smile at strangers, you open up doors for strangers, you do the right thing. You help people who have questions. You will lead someone if you feel like they're lost and they need some guidance. You will give it to them. You're doing everything that you're supposed to do. So is it really coming from your heart, or is it coming from ego trying to trick you up?
Ooh, I don't know. Let's write that down. Good. No, well, on one hand, let me say this. I don't think that I do things like open doors or say good morning to people for some sort of tally or credit. I feel like I just do that. I just do that. But is it ego? Give me some examples.
So we know that the ego has many faces, right? And ego, masks. Many, many masks. And the ego isn't necessarily that negative. Like, yes, we know the ego is like, oh, I'm too fat. Oh, I'm ugly. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. But at times, ego can really mask itself into those tiny little things, those tiny little thoughts that come in and make you question who you are and what you do.
Fragmented thoughts.
Right. Fragmented thoughts. It's that powerful. So, you almost have to remember that, because it's so powerful. Like I said, the ego can be as powerful as it wants to be. When you are one step away from, stepping outside your comfort zone, the ego is going to really bump up and imposter syndrome is going to kick in and stuff like that. But ego is a part of our everyday life in the tiny little thoughts that come in and out every single day. And, sometimes they aren't scary-ish thoughts, but they're not positive thoughts. Like the thought that you were like, well, what if? What if I helped this person? What if I actually did this? We can only do so much.
Yeah. That makes sense.
We have to remember that, like, we can only do so much. And a big problem in the lightworking community is the fact that we give ourselves away so easily, and we're left depleted, and it's something that I'm telling you, I think that nearly 90% of light workers, empaths, struggle with balance, whether it be, oh my God, it's like crazy, because it's just, we literally hold this I don't want to call it a limiting belief, but this belief that we need to save everyone because we are of the light and we need to help everybody. And that is not the case.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, but again, people have timelines. So those timelines, like we were saying before, how many times have we heard the same thing over and over again? But you know, so here this light worker comes in and is continuing to try and help and help and help, you know, and getting some places, but not so much. It's like what is the saying? Take 2 steps forward, 3 back, or something like that, whatever. That you deplete yourself, and then it's like you start to dim your own personal light for this person that you're trying to help, you know. So that's where the detachment I feel like has to come in at some point to save yourself. So going into Christianity, if, you know, when you say you're saved, isn't it saving yourself, you know, like that kind of thing. So anyway, that's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was so mind blowing this morning.
Yeah.
Very was.
Yeah, it is. And like, you literally like you have to take, when you have a massive shift like that, it takes days for it to sink in. But now that you know that, you know what I mean? And this conversation literally stemmed from a troll on Facebook.
It was a trigger post.
Yeah, it was a trigger post.
So I lit up Erica's messages. I'm like, what the hell? Like, da 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 da, you know, and then all of a sudden, like, I came back around to it and thought about it, and it clicked. And I was like, damn. Yeah. We need to zoom this. We need to put this on. This is epic.
Yeah.
You know,
because at the end of the day, it was like, so long story short, there was this post on Facebook that got Leigh a little
triggered. I was so upset about it. It says and I even wrote it down. Look, I wrote notes. Okay. I was in it. We are in this thought right here. So it said, why don't we ever see this headline? Start ever. So excited. Why don't we ever see this in the headlines? Psychic wins lottery. Well, this chick came back and says, because they get rich off the dumb people who believe that crap. Leigh is now triggered. What? I was so upset about it. Yeah. So, you know, and I had to think about it too. Like, if that's where she is in her path, and that's where she is in her storyline, and she doesn't understand it, so that's a limited belief, then I mean, I can't get upset about it.
Yeah.
You know,
you can you can get upset about it. You know, you're human, and it hurts your feelings, you know, because when we talk about feelings, it's, you know, oh, you're too sensitive and your feelings are feeling nothing. Bullshit. If your feelings are hurt, your feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it's as small as this. So, you know, you never want to take any power away from your feelings, because that is where all the magic is. That is where our intuition is. That is where spirit comes through the most. So, but it's, you know, something like that. And I think you said something like, why do you think that? Or something like that.
My rebuttal was, so have you ever been read by a psychic? Like, I'm just thinking, you cannot hate on the sauerkraut unless you've tasted it, you know, like at least give it a try. So if she hasn't, then I know, like, you just haven't even tried. You haven't even given it a thought. You just based off of what everybody else is thinking or has shown you or whatever. Like, it's not a personal reading.
Right.
And if she has, and it's been bullshit, then yes, there are people like that do that. But don't couple everybody together in one pot, when just like good people, bad people, just like good preachers, bad preachers, you know? Right. So it's just the thought process, the mind, and where she is. So I just wanted to know, but it triggered me.
It did trigger you.
It upset me.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it was a huge download. So if you can take that opportunity to take that trigger and go, what the hell? You know, and start to kind of write down your thoughts and then put other thoughts with it. That's those differences that make you a better person, I believe.
Right. Like that's huge. Like, when you're triggered by something, that is an indication that there's something within you that needs to be healed.
It's a reflection.
And it's so true. It is so true, because when when I'm triggered by something, I have learned to and what I mean by triggers is like if you're feeling uncomfortable with a situation or a comment or something like that, just stay there. You know, you want to stay quiet. That's like what I do. Like if I'm feeling triggered by a situation or a comment or something along those lines, I have learned, you know, before I talk that I need to sit and ask myself, well, why do I feel this way?
Mm-hmm.
And
is this worth my energy?
Right. Is this worth my energy? What is that thing within me that's making me uncomfortable in this situation? And sometimes it takes a while for it to come through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we have to remember, like, those triggers are things, that's our shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And that's an easy way to heal and that kind of thing. So
right.
It's like now if you're more cognizant of those triggers and you're kind of like, damn, why'd that set me off?
Right.
You know, why'd that make me want to go burn somebody's house down? You know, like it, you know, you need to sit with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't light the flame yet.
Right. Exactly. Because we're so quick. We are so quick to like, especially, pop off. Like that was me for so long, was as soon as I felt uncomfortable, I popped off. I got defensive. I got aggravated. You know what I mean? And maybe it's maturity finally, but you know, it's something that we, especially with things like this, like that's her belief.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's why I asked,
right.
Have you ever had a read? Like,
right.
You know, where are we going with this? Because I'm willing to talk about it, you know, and not in a hateful kind of what the hell, you know, but I just wanted to know where she was coming from.
Right.
You know, like, do you know, or have you been burned? Right.
Like exactly. Was it something that, you know, you had a bad experience once and then you're holding this, you know, hostage. You're holding all psychics accountable for it, because there are a lot of psychics that are hella good. You know what I mean? They are really good. They're really kind. They're very down to earth. And then there are others that are charlatans, you know, and you have to just be careful, you know.
But if you couple everybody together, charlatans, psychics, normal people, whatever you classify that as, and, you know, all of the people, we're still all on this earth together. Like, who really cares if it doesn't affect you, or it doesn't, you know, if you've experienced and had a bad experience, that doesn't couple everybody together. You know, it just.
Right. Yeah. It's like Democrats and Republicans.
To each its own.
Right.
Yeah. Like, whatever.
It's like literally Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah. It's like, who cares in the big scheme of things?
Right. I don't give a shit. You know, if you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you believe in. And I wish more people just thought that way, because I really truly believe like we would live in such a better world if we just realized that religion, beliefs, we all have free will, so we can believe in whatever the fuck we want to believe in.
Yeah.
You know?
Without judgment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just easier.
Right.
No Trigger
it
Tuesdays.
Really would.
It's Trigger Tuesday today, y'all.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But look, it was a great download, so it's something that I can actually like ponder off of for a couple days. Google the hell out of it.
Right. And then you're going to be really proud of yourself when you find someone who is holding on to limiting beliefs, and, you know, you want to educate them in some way or form, and you realize that it's not your circus, not your monkeys. You know, all we can do is keep our side of the street clean. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
It's a big, it's such a learning thing. It is I think, like, I don't know, personally, for me, like, I think that this lesson for you is huge. It is, like, because I've seen you, like, you know, I've seen, like, how you're, like a couple months ago, you have a lot of people come to you. Like, you have a lot of people around you.
Me.
Right. And then I remember, like, you went out and you know, found someone who needed healing or something like that. And you were like, I need to help them. And I was like, what? What are you
don't
talking?
have to always help them.
Yeah.
Like, but I do. What if I was that person that made
Yeah.
that click,
Right. But I think it's more important for you to shift this mindset, shift this belief, and then you go to other light workers who are dealing with this, because
and
there's so many,
experience.
right? And share your experience and help them, because they're already at a level of being the student. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's so good. You said that so right.
Right.
They're ready for it. You know,
they're ready.
You become a sponge. Like, even some of the groups that I'm in, just something that interests me or something that I'm intrigued by, I'll listen to it. Now, I may not believe with it, like, it's like, I don't know about that, but I'm not going to swipe it off the table just because I don't, like, oh, well, I can't ever. Maybe it's just not my time. For some reason, I was interested in it, that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's just interesting. All of it's interesting.
It is interesting. Like I said, I think that your energy would be much more efficient with you shifting this belief that you're holding and then telling other light workers, like, you don't need to save everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This was something that I healed. Yeah. Because, like I said, people that are open and susceptible and opening up to their spiritual nature are so much easier to teach. They're so much easier to teach, like, seriously, because it's true, because they realize, like, we are all students, whether you are 80 years old or 20 years old. This is life school, this is earth school,
the university.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. We're all just trying to graduate, y'all.
Yeah.
Party at my house.
I'll make pudding shots.
I know. Hee hee.
But yeah. So I'm so happy that we jumped on and had this conversation, because
I just felt like other people needed to hear it. Like, it just it's real life shit.
Right. And I think it's good because, like, whoever is listening to this podcast right now is most likely a light worker and is most likely struggling with this, with this exact belief that you held and you are healing, So, thank you very much for coming on, because this was definitely, this was good. It was so like, guys, I don't think you understand, like, we've been wanting to do another episode and with the holidays, schedules were just, like, so cram packed, and, like, today this all happened, and I'm like, oh my God, this is such a great conversation. And then she literally was like, oh, we should just go on Zoom. And I was like, oh, this is good. This is real good.
Meet me at 11 for tea talk.
Yeah. Trigger talk.
Yeah, right. Trigger Tuesday talk.
Yeah.
Yee.
I know. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So let me ask you one last question. So if there is someone who is listening to this podcast who is attracting negative people in need, I don't want to say negative people, let's say people in need of healing. Okay. And they are holding on to this belief that they are responsible for this person's healing. What do you want to tell them?
I think I would say, just because this is all new right now, because this did happen this morning. So my response to it now may be different than, like, a week from now. But right now, I think I need to, and you try it. I'm not saying you have to, but try it. As a light worker, we should be able to feel people's energies. So if you can feel the person's energy and that they do want help, or they are starting to seek out for, like, a higher truth, then I would say, like, that's how I'll figure out, like, should I start to really kind of mentor this person? Are they willing to be, taught? And if not, and there's a different dense kind of energy, then I would say maybe no, I wouldn't entertain it, because I've noticed that the people that do want to kind of listen to what I'm even being taught, even things that I've learned, they do soak it up, and I don't get the flashback that I get from, like, the person that is dense and doesn't actually want the help at the time. So I don't know. I would say go with the energy that you feel like is willing to listen to you as like a mentor or a guide or just wisdom, you know, and not the person that's more dense and that kind of, not that they're bad. I'm not separating because one is better than the other. I'm just saying they're not ready. They're more dense, and maybe another time, because you're going to continue to want to help that person anyway. You know, that's just how you are. So maybe come back to it another time, and they're not ready for what you have to offer or give, or the wisdom that you hold right now.
You know, my biggest indication when I come, a lot of people love the spirit, you know, a lot of people love crystals and everything. And, you know, I meet them and everything. The one thing that I go to when I know that someone is open to healing and open to expanding their consciousness, are they playing the victim card still, or are they going into the student phase of life?
Yeah.
That's basically what you're saying is like, you know,
the shorter version of what I just said.
Right. Are they still playing the victim card? Poor me, poor this, my husband sucks, this person treated me like this, my job sucks, blah, blah, blah. That's the victim. They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. If they're saying, I just want a change, I feel like I'm ready for something more. I feel like, you know, I want to be in the next phase of life. That's an indication that they're ready to learn and to heal. You know what I mean? Victims, you're never, ever, 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 they need to flip on the light themselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if they're still in that victim mentality, don't waste your energy. Their time will come. You know what I mean? Their time will come. And when it does, you'll be there. But until they realize, because it's not our job to switch the light on. Yeah. You know? Yep. It's our job to help them down the path, you know? Yeah. But
you're right. That's true.
But it's always such a amazing time talking with you, Leigh. Thank you so much for just like literally, guys, I don't even think you like, we just had this conversation an hour ago, and for some reason today we were like, I mean, you should look at us like right now. We're literally wearing like the same outfit.
Jammies, hair, messy bun.
Gray shirt. I know. That's funny. But guys, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you soon.